Hey, how's it going, everyone? Is your Harman Pellet stove suddenly not distributing pellets? Well, today we got a quick fix for you that might just possibly be the answer. Ain't that right?
That's right. Today's focus is on the Harman Accentra. And this quick fix may work if you have a P-Series or an XXV. Let's check this out.
Alright, let's get to work.
Okay, friends, as always, safety time. Unplug. One more time. Unplug your stove prior to doing any maintenance on this stove or any other pellet stove. And if you feel uncomfortable doing it yourself and you live in Lynn Lane and Benton County, you call Briggs and I out for a service call. And if you live in another state, great! Call your local service provider. So anyway, there you go. These are the tools that you're going to need today. Pretty simple. If you got an impact, great. If you got a ratchet, great. 5/16 and a 1/2 inch is what you'll need, and a very small screwdriver. So Briggs and I are going to get into the fix, and again, let's check this out.
Alright, so real quick, you're going to be focusing on the right side facing forward on your Harman stove. And for this quick fix, it's almost entirely always going to be on this right side, in our experience, what we found out. So, with that case said, you're going to take your 5/16. We're going to be removing this panel right here. There's typically just a couple screws holding that in. Put that to the side. And we're going to gently hold on to it, and we're going to slide this out just as so. We'll place that to the side. And right here, everyone, now you can kind of see the innards of the stove. So you're going to look at this auger motor assembly here. You're going to go over here, and I'm going to point out to this plate right here. So behind this plate, there is a little space back there. There is some threading here. Usually with Harmans, there will be a wing nut here. In this case, there's a bolt. Let's see if we're lucky. Always try before you go.
Or a nut.
Yeah, sorry.
Are you really sorry?
No, not really. But anyway, they get the point. So right here, try before using tool. Right here, this was just hand threaded, which is fine. And so this is where the 1/2 inch comes in. More likely, you will face a wing nut. In this case, we faced a 1/2 inch nut. So right here, we're going to totally unscrew it. It's a long thread. Put that to the side. Try to get some light in here. This is a very tight fit. But what you're gonna do, you can grab hold of this plate and you're gonna finagle this off. And just as so, this plate's removed and it reveals a cavity in here. Now this stove right here, it's pretty clean. You only got a little bit of sawdust. But after a while, if this thing isn't cleared out or vacuumed out, a bunch of this sawdust in here will accumulate, and then it can start blocking this mechanism in here. When it starts blocking that, it's going to cause your auger motors not to run, and hence, well, no pellets distributing. So right there, next scene, we're going to clean that out, and then we're going to put it back together, and there you go. Now you know.
Okay, here's a bonus clip. Now, Briggs showed you how to clean it out. You get it. And I would actually do that 2 or 3 times a year. Check it out. Why your Harman is not distributing pellets. And so a Harman, basically what is happening here, I'll put the flash down. You can look at my hand, son. So in the hopper here, that mechanism, what it's doing, it slides like this, and then I'll show you the auger motor, and it opens up and the pellets drop down and then they come horizontally towards the burn pot. So that mechanism goes like this. And so when you have all that sawdust compacted, I will show you right in here, stick with us, this mechanism right here that's going to slide back and forth, back and forth. And so when you have sawdust in there that's packed, that slide is not going to go back and forth, back and forth. And so this is your auger motor. Rarely do they go out. It's a 4 RPM for your information. This is the older model, chain driven. But right here, there is a lobe, almost like a camshaft on an engine. So as this thing turns and it hits the lobe, then the slide opens and drops the pellets down, and they're pushed forward via this motor. So if you do not clean that out, this motor is going, it's forcing itself, it's working and working and working, and it's a higher probability that this is going to get burnt out. So when the pellets aren't dropping, back where Briggs showed you, take off that door, get a screwdriver in there, and your shop vac, vacuum out everything. There you go.
All right, well, let's put this back together. You know, at this point, a lot of people, well, you pretty much get it. We're just going to be working backwards, but what we'll be like doing is showing the whole process in its entirety, just to, you know, show what it's like. We like showing the reality of things. And you know what? Before we do it again, if you like what you're seeing here, please like, share, subscribe, and comment. It really helps us a lot to help you. Anyway, I won't waste any more time, but let's get to it. So real quick, like I said, working backwards, we're going to take the plate right here. And you know, it's a little bit of a Jenga puzzle. And so once you find that right spot, we are just going to nicely line it as so. The seals are in, it's on the thread, and we're just going to take this piece right here and just hand thread it in.
Well, that's just
so.
The half-inch nut, or what I've seen, Briggs, is a lot of these have wing nuts, so it's all good. Just hand tight.
Yep, as long as it's snug, you're fine. Gets the job done. Right here, we'll take your plate and we're gonna slide this back in. Now when sliding this in, pay attention to the top, the shiny metal. Same thing with the bottom, shiny metal. Make sure it's going in those slots and you're not overlapping. If it starts overlapping, it's not gonna sit right. So it's sitting good right there. I'm gonna align the holes as so.
One of the things I liked about Harman is that you can keep your stove connected to your exhaust pipe, and you can remove these panels. I think it's great.
Exactly. So right there, boom, which is all done. All right, everyone. Hopefully this video has helped, and hopefully, well, it fixed your Harman pellet stove.
Yep, very well said. Again, we'll be working on the Harman Accentra throughout the week and doing a lot of repairs that will help you, your friends, and your family save some money. And good golly, when Brett reveals what's inside of this thing, look at this window. Oh my goodness.
It's a little crispy.
We're going to show you kind of, well, some maintenance tips on this one and what could happen if you don't take care of it. We're here to help, and we'll see you on the next one. Thank you.
Sounds good. See you guys.